It was a sunny 25 April 2024 and I was happily ready to set off on a journey. In this video I will tell you about my experience of 5 full days in and around Stockholm and maybe give you some tips if you want to visit this city. But first, hi folks, I'm Lawrence from Italy and my aim is to show you many places around the world from my curious human perspective. If you want to help me grow this project, please like and subscribe. Back to us. As you know, if you have been following me for a while, I had already been to Stockholm in 2019, when the world was really different. I have never been so satisfied with the clips I shooted there, so much so that I have edited the videos at least a couple of times. But I wasn't satisfied anyway, so this year I decided it was time to go back after almost 5 years of traveling, having gained a different experience because, yes, I felt there was a score to settle. So, after a not so easy flight where I almost missed my connection due to the delay of my flight from Linate, I reached the city and my hotel. I don't want to talk you so much about my accommodation, I just want to tell you that I had a good time, that it was a hotel run by a Chinese family and so I had Chinese breakfast every morning. But as you can see, I didn't film anything, the information in description anyway. My visit so really started on 26 April when I decided to visit Gamla Stan, Stockholm's famous downtown island. The weather was not so good, but that was okay for me. The light was pretty good, also because if it is sunny here because of the narrow streets, it's very difficult to take good shots, so I was excited. I visited the famous Central Square where you can also find the Nobel Prize Museum, and I wandered around a lot of side streets and I even attended an official ceremony at the Royal Palace. Every time I came here I imagined this city on a dark night in late 19th century with the elegant people with cylinders and this cool elegant vibe. Actually here many streets are full of little shops for tourists. There is also a cool fantasy bookshop and a shop with Viking handicrafts, but I love so much the vibe anyway. After the center I visited the famous Vasa Museum, famous for preserving an old Swedish galleon built between 1626 and 1628. Really beautiful, always full of Davy Jones style pirate atmosphere, if you know what I mean. The next day was much quieter. After a quick tour of Norrmalm, the modern center of Stockholm, I took a boat to wander around the Stockholm archipelago for a while. The same boat that had broken down in 2019 because it had drinking water problems on board. But this time I did it, and it was great, although to tell the truth I'm almost frozen from being outside all the time taking pictures, but no one can stop Lawrence Livingstone. Can they? The next day was entirely dedicated to the famous open-air museum Skansen, where I met 2 tender playful bears, many strange animals and an angry goat. Look at that wicked face. I also visited the Baltic Museum and photographed every house I found. The next day was a tour of the Swedish countryside in search of the most beautiful Viking archaeological sites, from Sigtuna to Gamla Uppsala to the runestones of Vallentuna. It was really cool and I talked the whole time with our manager Urban, who was really nice and told me a lot of things about life in Sweden. The last touring day was around the island of Djurgården. In the morning I visited the amazing Nordiska Museet dedicated to the cultural history and ethnography of Sweden from about the early 16th century to the contemporary period. It is amazing because here you can find out how this country grew up and you can discover its traditions. For example, on the first day I met many guys with some kind of Navy commander's hat who were partying, and I found out that they were celebrating their graduation day. But at first I didn't understand why everyone was dressed like that. I thought it was some kind of theme party? I don't know. I spent the second part of the day going all the way around your garden park, 10 kilometers of relaxing nature walk. It was so cool. I encountered many animals and even a snake that was run over by a tourist boat. But then don't worry, it survived. I checked. Now he needs 2 years of therapy to recover from the trauma, but that's another matter. When I travel, I usually spend the evening resetting myself for the next day, but the last day I was lucky. I didn't know that on the first day of May it was a tradition to celebrate Valborg or Walpurgis Night. So I participated. It was so cool, guys. I met a nice, cute Swedish girl who helped me understand what the presenter who spoke only Swedish was saying. If you are watching this video, thank you so much. Then we walk and dance around the fire, listening to some kind of folk group with a singer singing in Arabic. It was really exciting. And then the next day it was time to come back home. It was an exciting trip, an experience that helped me learn more about this culture and reevaluate so many things. Stockholm is an intimate city that doesn't make noise, that doesn't have big famous monuments like the Colosseum or the Eiffel Tower or the Tower Bridge, but that has intimate corners of a romance like few. Stockholm is a kind city where people are shy, but when they open up they are super friendly and kind. A city that celebrates equal opportunity and equality, culture, scientific achievements, and where there is also room for long walks among the trees with strange ducks and this sometimes almost frightening nature. I can say that this is a city that speaks my language despite the fact that I do not understand anything Swedish. A city where every person I met made me feel at home, with those curious and somewhat shy looks. This is how I perceive this amazing city and where I found a part of myself that I thought I had lost. For me, walking these streets was like a very strong hug from someone you love. I hope to go back soon, maybe in another season, also because I still have many other things to visit, such as the Nobel Prize Museum, the Moderna Museum, the Södermalm District, Junibacken, Fotografiska, and many others. I also recommend to you an amazing book I read coming back home. It's a story about some people lived here in Stockholm. It's called The Details by Genberg. I really like it. Take a look in the description if you are interested. So this was my experience. It was an amazing trip that I will remember forever. However, I end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week with an amazing new video. In the meantime, folks, cheers.